In this module, the lifestyle module, we're going to start looking at the first thing that we can start changing if we want to reduce our stress. And that is what I call lifestyle habits. So I want to define what I mean by a lifestyle habit. For me, a lifestyle habit is the way I do my life. It's what I do in my everyday life, how I do what I do. And this is really, really important because most of us can be doing what we're doing but be unaware of the effect that it's having inside of us. Now, the way that I came to understand this was through my learning of what creates illness and understanding how emotions and stress sit underneath symptoms. And so for me, my impetus initially was to reduce symptoms. But as I reduced symptoms, I became much more aware of how a sense of dis-ease or negative emotions or stress sat underneath those symptoms, and how my lifestyle habits were actually perpetuating the disease and the stress and the emotions. So I drilled down deeper and deeper and deeper to understand what is it that is really creating any dis-ease, which could be disease or just stress or just unhappiness in my life. So let me give you a couple of examples of typical lifestyle behaviors which we may need to change and which were ones that I had to change. So one of my habits used to be to get up in the morning and go straight from my bedroom into my office because I work from home, and to say in my head, okay, I'm just going to check my emails for 5 minutes. And then I'd be there 2 hours later still working on my computer. Now, my mind was taken up with whatever I was doing. It was interesting, it was creative, but my body was not happy with me. My body was looking outside at the sunshine and saying to me, you know, I want to be outside in the fresh air, I want to be walking, I want to be having breakfast, I want to be easing into the day, I don't want to be doing this mental work first thing in the morning. It was giving me lots of signals, but I was completely ignoring them and overriding them with my mind, or what I call the head intelligence. So I was ignoring my body intelligence and just letting my head intelligence run riot, which is a major habit that most of us have. Now, what I came to see was that by doing this habit, I was increasing stress and perpetuating stress, and also triggering lots of emotions inside of me, in particular frustration. Because if we do what isn't right for us, the main emotion that our body is going to send us is frustration. So I started to become more and more aware of the discomfort and how uncomfortable it felt to have this stress and these emotions and this frustration inside of me. And I knew that I had to change this habit. So in order to change a habit, we have to first identify it, become aware of it, and then we have to choose a replacement habit. So my replacement habit was I banned myself from going into the office until 9 o'clock in the morning. Now, was that easy to do? No, because it was a habit. And these habits become very easy to do and very difficult to break. So we just have to do one day at a time. And sometimes we'll take 2 steps forward and then 1 step back. But we have a lot of habits like this where we just do things in our life. We have activities or habits or behaviors, whatever you want to call it, where we're unconsciously, unknowingly keeping ourselves stressed or triggering our stress. So we have to become aware of what these are, and you'll be able to do this through the questionnaires and the inventories and watching the videos in this module. And then you can start to choose, what habit am I going to start to change? What unhealthy habit am I going to turn into a healthier habit? Because everything we do will either increase a sense of relaxation and calm inside of us, or it will trigger stress inside of us. It's going to do one or the other. and it's always our choice, what do I choose to do? So this is the starting point in this program, because I think it's one of the easiest things to become aware of and to work on and to notice positive changes. And trust me, you will notice positive changes as soon as you start changing these habits. So as soon as I decided I wasn't going to sit in front of the computer anymore, or even during the day if I found myself getting frustrated because I needed a break, I needed a change, soon as I stood up, my body would switch inside from the stress response to the relaxation response immediately. That is how quickly our body will respond. But we have to do what our body needs, because our body has needs, and we need to fulfill those needs, which means we need to respect our body's needs. And that is what a lot of us are not doing. We're not respecting our innate body's needs. And this is all through these habits which we've acquired, which have become unconscious, which we now have to become conscious of and then make appropriate changes. So just by doing what is in this module and really doing it thoroughly can radically change your life, even without doing anything else from any other module in this program. So there were many other habits that I became aware of. For example, back-to-backing my appointments, rushing around, doing things in a stressed way, being late for appointments, so many different habits. So start to become aware of your lifestyle habits and then begin to make the first change. And very importantly, I recommend you just do one change at a time. Otherwise it can become overwhelming. And remember to put your feedback in the feedback section. I love to hear how you're going.